For example, untuk contohnya, he will never forget spending money so much. He will never forget spending so much money on his first computer. Jadi, he will never forget ini. She forget spending. Forget and then followed by gerund. We talk about something like in the past on his first semester. And then the next one, sorry, it's typo. Do not forget to spend money on tickets. You want to talk about do not forget to spend. To spend ini adalah to infinitive, something that in the future. Do not forget to spend money in the future. On the ticket. So we talk about something in future. That's when we want to use forget using gerund and infinitive followed by gerund and followed by infinitive. Okay, the next one we have in example go on. Nah, ketika go on ini diikuti gerund, itu maksudnya tuh to continue with the same thing. But ketika si go on diikuti oleh to infinitive, it means to change the activity. For example, go on reading the text. It means you want someone to go to read the same text from the beginning until the end. But if you want to use go on plus to infinitive, it means you change the activity. For example, go on doing your exercise. It means something already done, and then you want something. I don't have it. It's the same meaning. It's the same go on and gerund. Bisa lihat buku kalian halaman 3.40 yang go on. For example, after the class, Rebecca goes on to have some coffee to have some coffee in cafeteria. So it means to do something different, ya. So penggunaan go on ini juga it depends on the person atau orang atau apakah dia singular. For example, this one here it says Rebecca, right? Rebecca is a singular, so we change that into goes on. After the class, Rebecca goes on to have some coffee in the cafeteria. Ya, jadi itu penggunaan go on plus to infinitive. And then we also have regret. So when regret followed by gerund, it means you did something in the past and you are not happy about it. For example, I regret being late for school. It's in the past and then you are not happy about it. And then when you want to use regret and then followed by to infinitive, it means you want to tell bad news, to tell some bad news, and then you are not happy about it. For example, we regret to inform you that your flight has been delayed for an hour. Kita juga biasanya dengar ini di rumah sakit ya, ketika dokter datang, di TV-TV kan kayak gitu ya. Ketika dokter datang mengumumkan sesuatu yang tidak baik, I regret to tell you, I regret to inform you that something blah 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 blah. So that's penggunaan regret. Next one we have remember. The meaning using remember followed by gerund, to look back in the past and then to look back in the future. This one juga sama meaningnya dengan si forget tadi ya. For example, I remember switching off the lights when I went on the holiday. Next one, remember to switch off the lights before you go on holiday. Stop. When we want to use stop also, it means we want to stop the activity, and then when it followed by to infinitive, to stop in order to do something else. For example, I stopped smoking. The next one, I stopped to smoke, blah 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 blah, because of something maybe. All right. So use gerund we use gerund or to infinitive with 5 senses, and then it all the different meaning. 5 senses means like hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling something, yeah. And then when we want to use gerund, it indicates only part of action was witnessed, cuma sebagian dari activity itu yang kita lihat atau yang kita observe. And then when we want to use to infinitive, it means indicates that a complete action, jadi itu complete ya, was witnessed. For example, I watch my son smoke cigarette. It means I started to watch my son smoke the cigar and stop when he stopped smoking. Ya. Jadi, and then the next one, I watch my son smoking a cigarette. I heard Chris play a song with a guitar, entire song. And then I heard Chris playing a song with a guitar, part of the song. Okay, the next one also we can talk about infinitive or 5 sentences without to use after verbs. For example, we can also use can or could. We can use had, better, must, needn't, shall, should, will, atau would. For example, it might rain later in the evening. Jadi kita nggak ada to-nya ya. And then it might rain later in the evening. I must go now without to. Nggak ada pernah kita dengar I must to go now. You had better see what she wants. You need not wait. You need not wait. Atau ini juga same meaning with you don't need to wait. Ya. Tapi you need not wait, it's also okay. Did you hear him say that he was leaving? Did you hear him? I don't let my children stay up late. I saw him slap the kid. She helped me do my homework. Ini juga bisa. Sampai sini ada yang pertanyakan? Ada yang mau ditanyakan? Atau all good? And then we can continue our next topic. What do you guys think? Ada yang mau ditanyakan nggak? No? Okay, if you guys don't have any questions, so I'm gonna stop here for the last presentation, and then we are going to learn another topic, which is udah ada dibaca nggak topik hari ini apa? Ada nggak dibaca topik hari ini apa? Tentang apakah hari ini topiknya? Iya, memang tidak saya. Ya, memang tidak ada. Saya nggak pernah upload PPT sebelum kelas ya, supaya kalian juga nggak lihat dari PPT gitu. Jadi kalian punya referensi sendiri. I always upload our PPT after the class untuk referensi kalian untuk belajar atau mau ngulang-ngulang. But before that I never. Okay, so you should learn by yourself supaya lebih mandiri juga ya. Dan bisa lihat-lihat di internet juga begitu banyak tentang topik kita. Saya juga begitu soalnya. Okay, so today it's about basic essay. Everything about writing, basic essay. So in this for today, after we learn this topic, and then I hope you guys or we can develop our own topics. We can write an open composition atau an open essay, atau kita juga bisa diharapkan menulis a closed composition or a closed essay. Yeah. So writing an essay, do you think it's hard? Do you think writing an essay is a hard thing? Difficult? Yes? Okay, so maybe after this class and then you will not find it difficult anymore. I hope. Yeah, I hope it's like that one. You can also open your module page 4.2, halaman 4.2 ya. So the next question, when do we need to write an essay? Kira-kira kapan, pada saat apa kita harus menulis essay nih? Oke, menulis karya ilmiah, oke. What else? Teman-teman yang lain gimana coba? Yes, menulis jurnal. skripsi, tadi juga karya ilmiah ya. Okay, let's see here. You, for example, maybe you feel passionately about something and so here is the thing ya, when someone talk about essay, di kepala kita itu we always think something that really hard. For example, karya ilmiah itu sesuatu yang susah untuk mahasiswa ya. Tesis atau skripsi, pasti ketika kita mendengar essay, oh itu pasti tentang karya ilmiah, oh itu pasti tentang tesis, sesuatu yang berurusan dengan akademik ya. But actually writing an essay, it can be also like you feel something that really passionately. You are really passionate about something and you want to share your writing. And then it's an essay. Itu essay juga. For example, you read something and then you feel like, oh, I don't really agree on this one. I disagree with this specific opinion atau a certain opinion, and then you want people to join you to not agree, not in a bad way, yeah. You want to educate people, you want to share your opinion, and then you write an essay. Or maybe before you apply to college, like usually kalau misalnya nanti kalian mau ambil S2 ya, biasanya kita bakalan write an essay. Why do you want to apply to my university? What do you want to achieve? And then after you finish your college, what do you want to apply to your society? Something that I want. And then you write an essay. Jadi essay itu could be academic and could be not academic. Jadi tidak selalu academic ya. Let's say. So what is an essay? An essay is a short formal piece of writing which dealing with a single subject. Jadi cuma satu subjek aja. It is a loose term for writing and that asserts the author opinion on a topic, whether academic, editorial, or even humorous. Jadi hal-hal yang humor juga kita itu disebut essay gitu. Bisa academic atau bisa editorial yang tadi kita belajar sebelumnya tentang writing a letter to editorial. It could be an essay also. And then it is typically written to try to persuade the reader. We want to write this one because we want to address our opinion and then we want people to believe us. So that's why we write an essay. Okay, so an essay usually divides an essay usually consists of 3 parts, which is introduction, main body, atau conclusion. Which is the introduction ini because we usually begins the essay and prepares the readers what will follow. Biasanya kita punya thesis statement atau a topic, atau kita juga bisa bilang itu seperti kira-kira apa yang mau kita baca selanjutnya. Jadi kita bisa punya gambaran setelah we write our introduction. The readers could picture what will happen in the next of your writing after you write your thesis statement, after you write your introduction. That's why it's really important to address your introduction, to catch atau to attract your readers. And then the next one, we call it main body. Main body provides evidence to prove and persuade the readers to accept the writer's particular point of view. So in di main body inilah kalian mengemukakan, ya, memberitahu si reader itu apa alasan kalian membuat si essay ini. Kalian mau educate if you want to educate the readers, and then you propose what they want to learn. Ya, jadi si main body ini biasanya juga terdiri dari 1 paragraf atau 2 paragraf atau 3 paragraf. It depends on the writer, but it's not that long. Well, it depends on the situation. It's occasionally, yeah. And then the conclusion, it means the end of the essay and leaves the readers with a final thought or suggestion. Jadi itu bagian terakhir dari essay, kalian bakalan memberikan your final thought or maybe a suggestion to the readers about some particular topic. So that's the structure of an essay. So Let's see the next one. If you want to write an essay, our unit 1, it means developing topics. So after, for example, if you want to write your essay, after you got your topic, oh, I think I'm interested in writing this one. And then what's next? Jadi, apakah setelah udah dapat topik, jadi diam aja, atau biarkan aja langsung kirim? No, right? We're not gonna do that. So what's next? The next one we want to do is to write down everything you think relating to the topic. Jadi ketika kita mau mengembangkan topik yang udah kita punya, kita diharapkan atau kita bisa menulis apa aja yang kita pikirkan, kira-kira ini relate, kira-kira ini berhubungan dengan topik ini, kira-kira ini cocok untuk topik yang kita pikirkan. When you write down everything that you think it's important, don't care. You shouldn't care about your grammar, your spelling, your capitalization. Jangan pedulikan itu dulu. Jadi fokus sama apa yang kamu pikirkan bakalan relate for your writing. Okay? And then the next one, we have 5W plus 1H. It means yang 5W tambah 1H. For example, who, what, where, when, why, and how. So this formula, it really helps you when you want to write your topic. Kira-kira siapa? Kira-kira apa ya? Di mana, kapan, dan bagaimana? So this really also helps you a lot. And then make sure you can also get the answer for your question untuk pertanyaan 5H 1H kamu. And then after that, you narrow your topic supaya dia nggak terlalu general dan nggak terlalu lebar sekali topiknya atau too broad. You narrow down, lebih spesifikkan. Bagaimana targetmu, siapa targetmu, dan bagaimana kamu mau menyampaikannya. So you narrow down your topic. And then answering the question also that you already have. Okay, and then tie the similar idea. Jadi kira-kira kalau waktu kita menulis, when we want to develop our topics, we usually have the same similar idea, right? So you put it in one sentence. So you can tie, for example, 3 sentences into one sentence. So it will help you also a lot. Or you can also mapping, ya. Oh, idea ini kayaknya sama dengan idea nomor 3. Okay, you put it together. Oh, idea number 4, it's similar with idea number 6, and then you put it in the same word or in the same sentence. So you mapping. Mind mapping is really important. Or I can show you next one also. And then write a rough draft. After you have your own writing, and then try to write a rough draft atau tulisanmu ya, bisa mencoba menulis. Dan tidak perlu, kalau masih rough draft ini tidak perlu memperhatikan grammar dulu. But after you want to write the second draft, and then you can try to make sure your grammar, spelling, capitalizations are correct. Okay, so the mind mapping also kita bisa lihat di sini atau di halaman 4.3 ya. Nah, for example, you have your topic. Learning English in English-speaking country is the best way to master the language. For example, that's your topic, and then maybe your topic also related to condition to speak. For example, kita diharuskan untuk berbicara itu karena no one understand our own language, and then we are human. We are social creatures. We need to socialize to people, right? And then the next maybe could be related to my topic. Oh, I learned from the first source. Kita itu learning dari si native speakernya. It might be improve our pronunciation. It might be improve our language function, and then it must improve our idioms atau proverbs. Jadi kita tidak berbicara yang simple word doang, tapi kita bisa menggunakan idioms in our daily language, and then when you use your idioms, it will sound like you are very good in English. Okay, and then the next one that you can think of relate to your topic, it's many sources, books, newspaper, because they are all in English, right? And then magazine, and then different people teach you a lot. So that's maybe like relating to your topic. So ini juga yang tadi, if we learn English overseas, we are conditioned to speak it, nobody will understand. It's pretty same. So this one could be the mind map, yeah, the mapping thing that I mentioned before, and really it helps the writer atau the author when they want to write an essay. Oh, coba lihat halaman 4.4, page 4.4. Coba yang bisa dibaca dari introduction sampai someday. Satu orang coba dulu. Yes, sir. Sure. Yes. Mm-hmm. Finally. Yes, good job. The next one, coba dari speaking sampai does. Satu paragraf. Yes, sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, good job. The next one, that thing sampai language. Okay, Mbak. Oke, good job Mbak Jahrul. Next one dari AM sampai selesai. Oke Mbak. Mhm. Okay, thank you, Mbak. So that's yes. So that's how when we want to write our essay, ya kita udah dapat topiknya, introduction and topic, learning English overseas, and topic sentence-nya condition to speak, learn from the first source and then many varieties, and then we have the conclusion at the end of the text, for example. But the most important thing is that we can master the language quickly and know many things about the language itself. Do you agree on this topic? Do you think it suits on you when you want to learn the English, atau maybe yang di Hong Kong mau learn English faster atau learn Chinese faster, sama yang di Taiwan juga? Oh, really? Okay, so okay, some of you maybe think it's true when you want to learn some specific language and then you need to go to that country, right? But some people maybe not feel the same. It's totally different. It's not that easy maybe for them to learn a new language, but it depends on the people, yeah. So when we want to write the essay, we have a grammar focus, which means the parallelism atau parallel. It means keeping part of speech grammatically the same when they are in a series or when they are joined by correlative conjunction. Jadi maksudnya ini adalah menggunakan kata-kata yang sama kedudukannya di dalam sentence grammar. Jadi ketika kita menggunakan verb dan kita menghubungkan ke yang satu, kita tidak bisa menghubungkannya dengan adjective. Kita harus membuat dia grammar verb and verb, adjective and adjective, and then jiran-jiran atau adverb-adverb. For example, we call it as a single word. For example, the French, the English, and the Spanish like tea. Jadi yang mau kita gabungkan di sini adalah noun. Jadi dia itu bersifat paralel ya. And then the next one, Carol sits, smokes, and drinks. Yang mau kita gabungkan di sini adalah si verbnya. Sits, smokes, and drinks. And then the third example, Mr. Stone is handsome, clever, and experienced. Ini juga kita gabungkan adjective. Our children spend their day by swimming, rowing, and snorkeling. We want to combine the gerund together. The next one, we can also use parallelism using phrases. For example, they are looking for the key in the living room, in the kitchen, and in the bedroom. Jadi, we want to emphasize the adverbial phrase atau kata keterangan, kata keterangan tempat. Or the next example, I spent the day talking with Jane, baking some bread, and reading magazine. Gerund phrase, because talking with Jane, baking some bread, and reading magazines. Okay, note, language in use a consistent tense in essay writing. So when we want to write an essay writing, we always write with a consistent one. Jangan jumble gitu. Tiba-tiba nulis past tense, tiba-tiba nulis present tense, tiba-tiba nulis past continuous tense. So it will show your professionalism ya. Kalau kalian menulisnya jumble begitu, it means you are not master at it. Kalian you are not an essay writing gitu loh. Untuk pertama-tama maybe yes, because we are learning, right? But then when you are into essay writing, and then you have to know, like, you don't need to do that. We shouldn't do that. So we should write in a consistent tense. Kita bisa mendapatkan sense ini ketika kita keep writing, and then kita edit, baru kita perbaiki lagi. So edit and fix, like that. Okay, let's see your activity 3. You can also open your book and then please, but then do not see the answer yet. Check your book page 4.6. Revise the sentences to make the elements in them parallel. Jadi kita mau mengubah si kalimat ini atau kata-kata di dalam kalimat ini jadi paralel. Nomor 1 itu udah dikerjakan. For example, my uncle is a doctor and painting a picture. So a doctor and painting a picture are not parallel. So how to make it in a parallel way? My uncle is a doctor and a painter. Coba number 2 yang bisa langsung. Yes. To maintain? Yes, to maintain and to expand our market will be discussed later. Yeah, to maintain and to expand. Jadi kita buang ing-nya and tambah to in front of expand. Alright, number 3.